It's for the people that have to go and take out a loan. Like I said, as soon as anyone in the couple has to take out money,
don't get married.
You failed.
Do not even
as
think
soon
about
as the guy's like, I'm gonna go take out a loan, you failed.
Yeah.
As soon as you're discussing things like if or and you're speaking cows, out, you do not qualify for cows. You guys don't have land, you don't have a cow, you don't have cattle. Leave it, because any cows you want to buy here, you're going to be buying other people's cows that have their own spirits and energy and whatever. You don't know what circumstances. Even when you eat that meat, awazi where they graze and what. They were busy chowing grass at the camelo abafana baga mkize. Ay baba. So rather mhlambe go to a butchery where the meat has been sterilized and dry. Because you guys are fucking around. Have a spit fry, buy a lamb, I don't know. So we're gonna need to have that conversation. But the conversation is ilobolo and the process of ilobolo, and then I guess the marriage part. And then when I see so you're bringing this aspect of also just the union and then other softer things like the surname and the patriarchy and which are impacted by all these things. Because again, if we're living modern and there's no surname and you get to, your wife is a feminist and is empowered, then the question becomes, why are we even discussing ilobolo? Because it's like, somizi no mohale, discussing ilobolo. Why are you guys discussing ilobolo when you're gay?
It's the exact same thing.
Ayikho lento le in South African black culture. Ukuthi indoda izolobola enye indoda. So already you fall outside of the ambit of ukulobolana. Thandanani nishade, but lento yokulobola nokuthela inyongo nitakiwe. Mhlambe ningahlanganisi amadlozi, but we also don't know because ayikho ingane ezophuma la. Ukuthi indaba kumele kuhlangana amadlozi.
Yeah.
But maybe you can discuss in what context.
What if you're even confusing amadlozi? They don't even
partake
won't
in that thing.
They're like, come back.
But Ukibin is friends with Umlocho. Umlocho has never been introduced. Amadlozaka have never been introduced here. Umngani wakho. Or is it because senzo kucabzana nenzinto esingazazi kahle?
So ngifuna nje ukubuza lapho kancane. What happens now? I'm Sizwe, I'm gay, I marry Thabiso. And then
is Thabiso hot? Asking for a friend.
Hey,
no Diddy.
You know?
Hashtag no Diddy.
So I married Thabiso, and according to us, siyazenza lezinto, we're doing these traditional customs.
Sure.
You know, we perform the rituals, we do everything. But tradition and culture itself, looking at us, says everything that we are doing is invalid.
Yeah, correct. Oh, is that the question?
Are we now being exiled?
You should be exiled. You know, one of the problems we have with black culture is we try very hard to be inclusive when we shouldn't.
Exactly.
So the exile doesn't have to be, your parents don't recognize you. And Utabiso's family is like, don't talk to us.
Yeah.
We recognize you, we love you, this is your home. What we won't do is we won't show up to any ceremony you invite us to. Because we are stagelo. That's the exile. Your father will not take out cows for another boy. We will not show up at a wedding, in a church, in a Christian church, for this wedding of yours. We will not. You can maybe invite your friends, but please understand that you are not bringing any madlozis from us that we must also agree to. And you can bring this Thabiso boy all you want to our house. This is my friend, this is my lover. Hey, we don't know what you're doing. As far as we're concerned, because it does not fall within the ambit. It's you visiting your Muslim friend and they fasting. And you're like, I also want to fast. They'll giggle. They'll be like, hey, if you want to fast, but it's got nothing to do with Islam. And whatever you're doing, you're twerking, that's haram.
You know, if
you're not Muslim, but you're friends with our son, it's okay. But we just need you to know that as Muslims, that's haram. You can go twerk there, it's fine. You're friends with Ahmed, it's chilled. But Tina here,
but
don't acknowledge that.
Then, with what Penn is saying, then it means that most people shouldn't get married then. Because now as you see right now, you're not grooming yourself as a man that must get married. Just sitting here.
From a cultural perspective.
Because that question was cultural.
But we have to assume, I think this is where it becomes a discussion.
Yeah.
We have to assume and maybe agree on what is culture. And maybe it needs to evolve to include homosexual unions. But then we have to agree. And if we don't agree and we say, no, homosexuals have got their own chapter culturally, we must say, oh, no, we do it, but then don't meet each other. or no man shot and then go black and him go white. Kodwa we agree with no, you guys have your own category. You can't have everything else because umuhala kasichichi ebengahlolwa ukuthi uyi-virgin yeyibunu.
I get you.
Yayibona leyo nto leyo ukuthi no, we don't do this. Again also with ilobolo ukuthi yini ubani olobela ubani from where, ubani ohlala emzini wakabani, isibongo sekuzoba ubani. Which the gay thing with the double barrel is the same clash with the woman.
Yeah.
If we have a double barrel, that means we're both men, mos. That's essentially what it means.
Aye.
Should now indoda nami ngindoda ngoba manje sisoba ukhibini emlotshwa noma udube emlotshwa. That means should siyalingana mina nawe. Then what's the point? Uyangigibela nami ngigibele. Siyagibelana. Ney'ngane zethu ubaba ufike wathi yakodwa umama uthe we don't know now. Who's the supreme authority? And if we agree on that, it's fine. That's a category. If we agree on the one with the financial power, umama.
Yeah.
Umama Mkhize. Should mina sengu Mr. Mkhize. And she's the one that is the breadwinner and the decision maker. And I'm like, hey, ngizotshela uma wenu. And then the kids, they panic. They're like, ish, please don't, because she pays our school fees.
Yeah, but when the way you're putting it now, when you swap it around, does this. That's why guys don't even think, because it might just be a thing of, no, guys, yes, she's the authority in the house. She knows how to take your finances. I'm this.
But most women will never give you that. The other things. She won't be like, look, I'm the financial muscle. You can be everything else. It almost never happens.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's like when Azumchita being the financial muscle and she has these big decisions that she gets to make. Like, I want this house. Yeah. No, but you'll provide the money, but I'm choosing the house. Because I'm providing the money. She can make those pop decisions like the kids are going to wear this. Like, oh, okay, sure. Now, credit card, I'm boting, but for me, it's because I don't mind giving you that. But the things that are important. So she's the financial muscle, but you as the out are like, no, I want us to go and live there, Sandhurst. She's going to be like, no, babe.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, we're going to. She's like, yeah, but that's my money. You're like, yeah, but I'm the man of the house, most in the decisions. It's like, no, I don't know about that. Dad, no, I think I need a new car this year. You need a what?
Yo. So then, if we're going to then carry our lives out in that fashion, right?
Yeah.
Then there must be very strict terms because we live in a world that has modernized. By and large, our lives are, even if you're in the rural areas, a very large proportion of your life is very modern. You're connected via cell phone, you do certain things that connect you to the bigger world out there. So a lot of our interaction with the modern world compromises our traditional and cultural selves.
For the elders, not for you.
No, for us.
In life.
I hear what you're saying. I've got an answer to what you're saying, by the way.
I feel like our interaction nalomhlaba or modern takes away a certain thing because there isn't. We don't have silos and compartments for our lives. The minute I step out of Guadube and I go to work, I'm this person who interacts in this modern way, but these people must know, Wuti, my identity is this. And when I step outside of that world, I leave that modern guy who goes to work at work. So when I enter my home, this is how I lead my life.
The problem we have is we don't have documentation and systems that we can refer to a point where when you refer to them and modernity starts influencing us, we have a sit down and we either amend the documentation to have a version 2.8 of 2024. This is where we were. We've now changed. I'm still a cultural man, but in English, because we changed to English, but we still retain. We've now no longer call it ilobolo, we call it dowry as an example, but we've retained. And other such prescriptions. Where you look at, let's say, the Jewish community and the Muslim community, they still abide by that. They also get influenced by modernity like us. But when the modernity comes, the twerking and the hip hop and they very quickly go to the synagogue or the mosque and they look at this thing and they discuss it. That's where they're like, no, our kids won't do this. This is haram. There was nothing in the Quran about this thing because it was written back then. But they're like, no, according to what we see from the principles, our children won't do that thing. Our daughters can't do athletics. Modernity is here, but they will dress up in a specific type of athletic gear so that they don't expose their body. Our son, Hashim Amla, will play cricket. Modernity is here, but he's not going to wear castle lager on his kit because it's haram. So you engage it as it comes, but you don't lose the principle. With abantu abamnyama, because of lack of documentation and being disturbed by colonialism and wanting to be inclusive today, we don't have those boundaries that we can refer to a point where when your daughter's like, Dad, I want to be a rapper and I'm going to twerk. And you're like, hey, Ntanam, if you're happy. Happy according to what? Because we're Christian in this home, so that's a no. We are also African practitioners, African custom practitioners, so it's a no. If she wants to do it, we bring it in and we say, look, we've decided that you have disrespected the ancestors. We'd like to have a ceremony where you apologize to them and you explain what you're going to do. Go do it and come back and know that in certain ceremonies, we won't be able to celebrate you.
Yeah.
In these things. We may not marry you African, but we recognize you. But Amadlozi, we've explained, she falls outside of the ambit. You're gay. Oh, okay, we understand. But please understand that this is a sin. You know, I see this with the Bala family. They've got a reality show where Uzwayo, Lois, Opelo, they were all raised Christian. All of them. Ulois was kept it strong.
Hey, strong, man.
Still very Christian, married his wife under the church. His daughters are being raised in the Christian church. Uzwai at some point got tainted and wanted to learn African customs and spirituality. So he's on that journey. Ulois always tells him, my brother, I love you. I'll show up to anything you want me to show up to. But don't expect me to engage. I'm not going to slaughter anything. I won't touch ikazi. Ungangitailing enyong. I don't do these things, but I love you. I'm here. But this falls outside of the ambit of my Christianity. Upelo is homosexual. Ulois said, I love you. You're my brother. I want you to be happy. But I need you to know from a Christian perspective, this is a
And you
sin.
fool me right in, yeah.
That is respectful. Ulois has got boundaries. But it's not, I hate you, you're sinning, you're going to go to hell. No, faith. It's like, oh, look, this is my life guide. Your behaviors here are haram and they're outside of that. But you're my brother, I love you. Siyahleka, siyakaula sonke. But when you say what, I'm like, no, from my Christian perspective, I'm meeting your friend. That's how I explain it to my God and Jesus. What you do, I understand is a sin, but it's your life. And it's not for me to judge, it's for God to judge. It's for me to tell you that how we were raised and what I know is this. Uzwa you saying Afrika Ksasa, I mean, I'm not going to go to this church thing because of this. But Uloyi, so you're my brother, I love you. We just don't have those boundaries. And then you also, like I said, once you've got them written down as a system, you can then engage and be like, you know what, maybe let's add a chapter on homosexuality. Maybe let's add a chapter on how do we deal with our Christian counterparts who are not cultural. No, you must invite them to these things. When they ask to pray, be like, no, sorry, no, yeah. We don't do that here. This is a cultural space. Sibiza amadlozi sikhulume nawo sibonga uNkulunkulu. Kodwa lento ukuthi in Jesus hey akho Jesus la. Asazi nokuthi uba
Documentation. I want to that in your documentation is the thing that killed Abu Daki. All of us. That's the thing that killed all of us. We didn't document anything. This thing of oral what I'm a simba writing.
Are we parking a lot for now?
For sure. No, now I've come up with my suggestion, Chance.
Sure.
Marriage, we must redefine what marriage is. It's two people coming together to celebrate. We're having a braai. That's it. The surname you'll decide. Double barrel surname.
That's for you.
Yeah.